Hey guys, what's up? My name is Richard Terrell. I go by Kirby Kid. Welcome to DO Live. This is a daily stream in which we talk about game design this week, next week, and the week to follow. We are only going to be talking about Smash. I got a ton of topics and a ton of characters and a ton of things I want to go over. So we're really hitting the super long list one by one. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Discord. Our Discord link is in the Twitter, and they all go by Design Oriented. That's enough of an intro. So with the Smash series, I'm pretty much going to pick one of these topics and I'm going to talk about it for the entire stream. Stream's going to be about 30 minutes, but I'm going to try my best to give you guys the highlights, the main points right up front so you don't have to watch the whole thing to get something out of it. And then I'll try to recap at the end. So let me know how I'm doing in the feedback in the comments or whatever. Here we go. What I want to talk about this time is how Smash Ultimate has taken what I say to be 90% of the ideas that I thought of would improve Smash. I have this conversation all the time. I'm constantly talking about Smash, especially when I'm coming back from a tournament. I'm like, this is exactly what I would change. But in general, how it goes is any change that I like to suggest, whether I am critiquing people's stories or I'm critiquing their design, I like to try to change as little as possible to try to get the core experience to be sort of as close as what I think the most meaning is, the most important part is, the core. Try to bring that out as much as possible. So changing as little, getting the maximum impact out of it. And over the years, I've suggested many of things to change Smash. I mean, I've had this conversation since like the first inkling that Kirby was going to be low tier in Melee. I'm like, oh no, like, why is Kirby so bad? Like, I changed this and this and this and this, and why does this hammer do nothing? And why is everyone else so fast? And why does he have no anti-air? And why can't he get down to the ground? And it just starts with talking about my own character, Kirby, and then sort of expanding that to be like, well, how does this fit in with the rest of the game? How would I change the rest of the game? Would I make some of the Melee characters weaker and bring them down? Or would I bring up the low tiers? Is it always like moving in both directions? And then, you know, another game come out, and when we heard about Brawl, I was like, oh, I do all this different. I hope it's like this and this and this. And you know, Brawl was it's a pretty different game, kind of a shocker to a lot of Melee fans, but it was still pretty much playing to the Smash core. But things have changed, little things, but they have a big impact. So after, you know, fighting so hard in Brawl before Smash 4 came out, I'm like, oh, if they could just, you know, keep this aspect of Brawl, keep the interesting zoning, and keep the wide variety of projectiles and how you interact with the projectiles, and keep sort of an emphasis on the ground game, right, and de-emphasize so much shuffling. If they increase the diversity in which the characters moved up vertically on the screen and the diversity in which they recovered, right, you know, Sonic and Snake and other characters were really fighting very well, taking up different parts of the screen and moving in different ways. That spin dash, that cipher, all those moves. I'm like, I love that spatial diversity. I wanted to keep it to where characters use their special moves, because in Melee, the extreme effectiveness of L-canceled aerial moves means that you'll need and use your special moves less and less. So I wanted the characters to use their special moves, and so on and so forth. Had a lot of lists, had a lot of complaints, right? Like fix the ledge, take out chain grabbing, you know, make it to where characters can kill. That was a big deal in Brawl. By the way, the moves were tuned, and the stale move negation, and just overall weakness of smashes, and the heaviness of characters and their ability to sort of attack at a hit stun and keep themselves alive with that kind of DI just really kind of weakened some of those fundamental core aspects of Smash. We want to see characters fly across the screen, and we want them to be killed at a reasonable damage, right? A lot of people thinking like 120 is a pretty reasonable damage, that if you hit them with a smash attack, they should die. Generally, that's the case. Early kills obviously happening, you know, sub 100. Late kills obviously happening at 160 and beyond. So like that's to the general ballpark we want to hit. But Smash, obviously, like I said in the some of the other streams, is super complicated, and I wanted to, like, tweaking any small thing can have a big impact, or it could have no impact, right? Sakurai changed the way perfect shielding worked for between Melee and Brawl, and kept it kind of the same for Brawl and Smash 4, and made it a little easier, and people just aren't using it to parry at all. So now Smash Ultimate, he changed it again, and I didn't really suggest that. Sakurai, I never even thought like, oh, put it at the end of the shield. But I did suggest that you need to add a lot of hit stop whenever you get a successful parry, so that both the attacker and the defender know that the parry happened, and that'll give them a little bit more reaction time to do a meaningful follow-up. Because the way it currently is in Smash 4, you have to pretty much buffer your option ahead of time, which is kind of, makes sense, because the parry is a incredibly anticipatory counter move. You anticipate the timing and maybe the direction so much of the incoming attack that you parry it into your own attack. So that's kind of like one thought, like one executed maneuver. So I can totally see why, you would make it to where you have to buffer your attack to get it to happen, but people just didn't. They just don't understand it for one reason or another. So design, once again, has to step in and fill the gap. So things like that. I said keep the ledge. Smash 4's ledge was really good. For Smash 4, I never even thought he would let multiple people hang on the ledge, but that's really interesting. And then trumping and so on and so forth. Having one invincibility was something that I suggested a long time ago. You just don't need two. You just don't need it. Speed up that process immediately. Having some invincibility is super important for people just to not lose their mind, because how sad would that be if you had none and you're just like, well, I'm going to recover now, and he's charging a smash again. Like, that's not nearly as interesting, right? In order to have a ledge game and a recovery game and an edge pressure game and all that, you pretty much have to give them some way to get back into the game. Ledges are what the equivalent of Smash does with Street Fighter's knockdowns. They happen often enough. They can happen kind of repeatedly when you're being pressured. But that invincibility is important to keep the actual flow, the more meaningful part of the game, going. Other things in Smash Ultimate. Let me see if I can pull up this. By the way, I totally thought they were going to bring all the levels back from the 3DS. Those levels were so good, so interesting. This level in particular, which is the Battlefield version, but the freaking Super Mario 3D Land is one of my favorite Marios ever. And I love Spirit Tracks, so they're bringing back some of my favorite handheld levels. It's going to be so sweet. The Hazard Switch, people have been clamoring for it for like a long time. It does. Yeah, like I think the Mega Man stage in Smash DS and Smash Wii U is really cool. But that Yellow Devil, he's way too intrusive to even ignore. He just like blocks your path and shoots you and blows up if you try to get rid of him. Hazard Switch, good idea for stuff like that. Let's just hope everyone just sort of diversifies the amount of stages that they like to play on. But press and hold rapid strikes, obviously staying in. I think the reason why this is in the first place is because there may be a natural input delay for the console itself that you just can't do anything about when you're making a game for the console. So certain jab attacks, rapid attacks, need to be pressed rapidly in order to get these rapid attacks. But if the input delay is too much, if you take your finger off the button and you press it again, the gap when the system reads that next input could be too big. So I think that's the main reason why he added this in Brawl in the first place, where you just hold the button, your character just does that, and then when he connects, he does a full 1, 2, 3 punch, or it goes into a rapid. I'm pretty sure that's one of the main reasons why that's in there. But as just a general controller design thing, this is good. Not like rapidly hitting the control button is difficult, unless you're on freaking bongos for the GameCube. Yeah, it was a GameCube game. That's crazy. So this is a good thing in general. There's plenty of games where you have to mash the button and it gets so tiring. I just looked at the Kid Icarus Uprising tutorial and Piv's like, good, I don't have to hit the button all the time. And so it's clearly something Sakurai knows as far as controller design goes. So you keep it the same. This, I totally called this. So let me show you something. I think I already showed you, but let's switch over to Smash Wii U. Or I'll switch over in a second when I do this. So this technique, totally called it. If you look at the way Smash, the metagame develops, in the way that people complain about things like shields, it's because the ground game in general in Smash has been sort of underutilized and underlooked compared to the aerial game. So you have double jumps, you have edge guarding, you have platforms, and a lot of that requires jumping around. So like I could see why the ground game isn't the most fun, favorite, or interesting part of Smash, but in general, it's been underpowered. Let's get Donkey Kong in here. Let's go to a nice bright stage. I like this one. So yeah, the ground game has been underutilized, and there's a lot of reasons for that, which we're going to get into the balance videos later, but making it to where you can do your smash attacks out of your dash. It says smash attack to cancel your dash. I think the basic tech is you dash and then you just let go of the stick, and you can do tilts, jabs, or smash attacks. So it's not that you cancel your dash with it, it's just now the dash skid frames aren't committal. You know, it's the same difference. But check this out with Mario. I think I showed this on the other stream, but the slow run tech. So normally when you're running in Smash and you reverse direction like this, you do this little skid. Now, I believe a ton of the reason why these little effects are in the game is because they look good. And you might be thinking, well, what about gameplay? Don't just make everything look good. No, they're one and the same when you're talking about how you control your character. So this little turnaround, you know, not only is it keeping true to how Mario controls in his original games, which is a good thing. That's why Smash is so amazing, keeping these details consistent. But, you know, Mario has momentum. This shows momentum. Of course, you can dash dance before you get to that point, but as people keep talking about, once your dash dance window's over, you got this little slide, and it makes you slow, and people don't like to be committed. And if you shield stop, your shield up and down is 17 frames, so obviously this is not too fast, right? But that's why you can just do that. Slow run skid stop. You ease up on the controller, and then you can reverse direction without, like, almost no time sort of skidding and turning around. If I can do it right. Like that. Like that. So nobody did it. And it seems like it would be intuitive. Like, oh, if you don't want so much momentum when you turn around, ease up on the stick before you reverse direction, right? Like that. You know, like, just do it. It's only about 10 frames, which is still really fast. So like I can smash, whereas I can tilt out of a dash basically by doing the skid stop, and it's pretty fast. It's not like incredibly fast, but for the speed in which this game moves, you think that would be fairly the equivalent. But here's the thing: even though I can do this tech, it's not easy to explain. Even though it's fairly intuitive, and you should expect that that's how momentum works, because this game's analog and you're using the analog stick, and if you don't want to have so much momentum, ease up on the force. Nobody did it. So whenever something like that happens and I can see a clear element of the design that nobody did, even though it looks like it should be intuitive, the only answer after that is make it more intuitive, make it more simple, make it to where people can do it without almost any instruction. So that's what this is now, taking it one more level forward. In general, in Smash, you needed more options out of your dash. You can't just be committed to shield grab, dash attack, or jump. You need your ground moves. This is how you get access to your ground moves. Because everyone, when they jump in Smash, I gotta go back. People are always jumping around, and when they attack you, they're fading away and they're just leaving. And you know, walking is good because you can do anything out of a walk. But look how slow this is. Like, you can't catch up to anybody. So everyone's always dashing. And in Smash 4, walking is really hard to do because you're like so amped up on energy and you're trying to react to stuff that most likely a dash comes out. So you needed something to get access to your ground moves, so you don't have to commit to jumping, and you can chase people down and then follow up with like decent variety of attacks. You need that. You just need it. So Smash Ultimate, already doing it, looking good. This is new. Attacks from ladders. There's like 2 stages with ladders. Oops, you guys can't see it. There we go. There's like 2 stages with ladders, so enjoy. Directional air dodge. This is back. I'm so iffy on the directional air dodge, but one thing that it does clean up, or possibly clean up, is, you know, everyone gets one. Sometimes people didn't like being juggled when they ran out of jumps, but you know, you ran out of jumps, so get juggled. But the thing is, if you air dodge without having the directional movement, I like that it traces the same trajectory that you were moving on before. So however your character natural movement is when they jump, whether it's a huge arc or a little arc or a stubby jump or a nice horizontal jump, when you air dodge, it keeps the same distance, which means your defensive maneuvering is very highly dependent on your character style and your characteristics there. I like that. So when you're tracking someone's movement in the air dodge, you can still anticipate them having the same sort of distance capabilities as they did if they didn't air dodge. But now everyone gets this new like boost of momentum out of nowhere. That might help normalize really hard to hit characters like Mewtwo with his air dodge, or Ness with his super floaty jump air dodge. It's kind of hard to hit because he's so floaty. Maybe it'll help normalize that. But in general, what this helps clean up, I think, is if somebody air dodges into you. Smash has a bit of some awkward moments, and this is I'll show you here. So when two characters like in each other like this in Smash, it's kind of awkward. If they both shield, their shields overlap each other. If they both are like trying to grab each other, or if somebody like stands up from the ledge, like watch, like oh, he always jumps up from the ledge. What a jerk! But if I try to stand up from the ledge, am I going to be in front or behind? And you see how our character bodies shifted apart. But like, that's a little awkward. It's a little ambiguous. It's not really based on body size, but like on where the center of mass is on the character, and maybe how they animate, like all these different factors. And sometimes when you stand up from the ledge, you're like, I'm gonna grab you, and you're like, why am I in front? And like, why did that character stay in back? Like awkward. So the less of that that's in the game, and the less of that happens naturally, I think the better. So this new air dodge, you're not gonna tend to air dodge down into people anymore. You're gonna burst away, and maybe that bit of burst movement is gonna help clean up a lot of those awkward moments. So you're chasing more instead of like invincibly and awkwardly hanging out in their shadow, so to speak. So maybe that's a good thing. I did say that I didn't think directional air dodging would be back, but I did say the only reason that I think it would come back is for reasons like I'm explaining now. And I figured wave dashing would not be possible. And I did say he's probably going to make it to where you can't air dodge diagonally back down to the ground until a certain height. So that's true. So now only triangle dodging is a thing, and you can still wave land, but totally called that, you know. Little Mac now can kind of recover. You can grab the ledge out of air dodge, which is new. Melee, especially for Kirby, couldn't do that. So if you accidentally air dodged on the ledge trying to wave dash, you're just dead. But Jigglypuff could survive by grabbing the ledge because she's floatier than Kirby and whatever. I totally called this. I wanted Sakurai to do this forever, especially after playing Kid Icarus Uprising. It works the same exact way in Kid Icarus Uprising. The more you dodge, the slower your recovery frames are in the end. I've been waiting for this. Finally got it. Works exactly how I thought it was, especially linking the air dodge, the spot dodge, and the ground roll. Totally happy with this. I kind of want it, so like shield's a bit of a problem. Or let's see, I find it curious that all these things are basically the Mac and meta at the moment. Walking, being non-committal, foxtrot, perfect pivot, tilt smashes, cause ground movement is all he's got. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You have a character in Smash 4 that's completely about the ground game, almost completely, like 95, 98%. And Lil Mac had all these really good tools for using ground game. He had armor. He had one of the best dash stance windows, so you could go back a lot. Let me show you. Like, why am I talking about it when I can just play it and show you? Ooh, do I need this light? No, I don't like that light. I don't know where Little Mac is because I play on the 3DS too much. So yeah, Little Mac, ground character, and you can see kind of the stuff he did with high level techniques. And I figured like it shouldn't be this hard to like do all this movement. Like I can perfect pivot on this Wii U gamepad, but all my GameCube controllers are so worn in, I can't do it. And like I couldn't do stuff like this very consistently. I can extended dash dance, perfect pivot, down tilt. That's always fun. That's like two really sort of tricky techniques right in a row, especially if you do that, like extended dash dance, perfect pivot, down tilt. Oops, not taunt. Oop. There we go. So I have this one option select. So freaking fun to do Little Mac option selects where you perfect pivot or you like extended dash dance, perfect pivot, down tilt, and if he whiffs, no, if it hits the shield it goes into the KO punch, and if it whiffs, then he just keeps going. Oh, so cool. So you're just dancing around their shield and hoping that, you know, the option select triggers and you kill them, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. So Little Mac, one of the biggest dash dance windows in general. Wait, not dash dance windows. Extended dash dance windows. It's one of the easiest extended dash dances in the game, especially this Foxtrot too. So yeah, I'm hitting a lot of stick motions, I'm hitting a lot of buttons, and I'm trying to get this movement crisp and precise. So that's one of Smash's long-running problems, which I probably should have said in the last cast. Ground movement has been difficult, and I'm going to address this in the next video, but Smash is an analog fighter, and I kind of demonstrated that last time, so you can control yourself much better in the air with a double jump and the ability to sort of like fine-tune your position. Even Little Mac's like poor air control, you can see me like adjusting a little bit better and trying to land like right in front of Donkey Kong, except for I didn't do it. On the ground, it's so much harder to just put your character exactly where you want to be. And when you're in the air, your character doesn't just randomly flip around in the other direction. But if you want to correct your position on the ground, you turn your back. And just turning your back, it's troublesome, right? Some characters have bigger backs, and you actually put your hurt box closer to attacks when you just want to turn around. And it's just really like not as simple and effective as it should be for just being on the ground. So that's why a lot of people do a lot of course movements, run up shield, rolling, dashing. A lot of people still roll in the meta. You can see some of those matches in the Smash Ultimate where it's like in neutral, I'm just gonna roll around, and you're like, yeah, let's minimize that and just make it to where our characters can walk into place or dash into place. Thank you, Smash Ultimate, and just do the moves. You should be able to move backwards a little bit to get a well-spaced down tilt, so you don't get freaking shield grabbed all the time. Instead of jump, short hop. I didn't really predict this, but I talked to a lot of people that always say, I still can't short hop, I still can't short hop. And my general idea was, I think Sakurai's been making it easier and easier every game. Melee was too hard, especially considering there's like a glitch where it even shaved off like an extra frame that you should have had to short hop. I think Brawl was not too hard to short hop. The overall game pace was... Maybe that doesn't matter at all. The jump squats were still the same. But yeah, now in Smash Ultimate, it's even easier. You just hit both buttons at the same time. And after what we saw with AB Smash, which is what he comments on, this new input, AB Smash is really interesting because you think adding like combination inputs like this would just get in the way and you'd smash on accident, but you're never hitting A and B at the same time. Likewise, he figured if you're hitting jump and attack at the same time, you want a short hop attack. You don't want a ground move, otherwise you wouldn't have hit jump. So it's a little intelligent controller design. It's decisions like this that I think are really good, but it kind of takes like a long history of seeing how the game is played to know. That's a cool picture. Some people keep saying you have to release the shield on the tail end of their attacking frames. Like, you guys don't get it. You release the shield right before the hitbox hits you. No matter if it's... Well, it only matters if it's in the first few frames of their attack. Otherwise, you're going to get hit, or your shield will get hit. But, you know, whatever. I like how they showed the perfect shield here and Daisy rolling, but they didn't show Daisy doing an attack out of it. Like, that's the whole reason why you would perfect shield in the first place. They immediately go into an attack right here without being able to get hit by the roller because you've perfect shielded it. And I like how they show that perfect shielding projectiles doesn't slow down the shooter at all, just like normal. So, you know, now we know. I'm not sure why you would perfect shield a projectile or whatever. So this is interesting. Taking 1.2 something more damage in single player. It's supposed to keep games speedy so that you do enough damage fast enough to, you know, get the game going. I definitely didn't see that coming because I like to have a lot of the numerical values in games static, and then you just change other things in order to create your dynamism. Whatever. See who's in the lead with this little flash. That's kind of neat. I think Sakurai did that in other games, like Kirby's Air Ride and Kid Icarus Uprising, and he's just adding it more to this game. That's cool too. What else does Smash Ultimate did? Oh, so there's I don't have pictures of it, but there's now new back attacks. If you hit someone in the back, their character doesn't automatically flip around to face you before flying away. They actually can fall on their stomach. That's the thing that I kind of totally called. I remember talking a long time ago, I'm like, there should be back attacks so that when you jab someone in the back, they don't instantly flip around and able to put up their shield and freaking shield grab you when you just want to kind of interrupt them. Like, keep them turned around. I don't know why they turn around automatically. I think the reason why he did that is because in the original Smash Melee, you couldn't grab the ledge when your character's facing backwards for the most part. So if you launch someone off the edge and they're backwards, they might have a hard time doing a B turnaround. So he's like, just turn them around and they're facing the right direction. Makes sense. I'm glad it's gone. Totally called that. So he says, perfect shielding is actually more lenient. I thought you could only drop the shield on the tail end of the hit. No, so perfect shielding is you're holding up your shield, and then right when you drop it, the first at least 3 frames, because I think I counted, of the moments when your shield is no longer protecting you, if they attack you in that space, you perfect shield it. It has nothing to do with the tail end of their hit frames. It only has to do with if there's an attack coming in at you and you drop your shield, basically exposing yourself, but perfectly time it, you kind of shirk the damage and toss away the attack. What are some more cool details about Smash? He had the decimal place. I didn't call that, but I always thought it was funny that attacks have decimal values and you couldn't see them. I'd have to remember. I'd have to like pull up a match. He sped up the game. Oh, so he sped up smash attacks overall. And we'll talk about this more in the balance, but I felt like one of the easiest ways to return power to smashes, because Smash Wii U, the game's called Smash, and then the last thing you want to do is smash in neutral for the most part, and I think that's a bad thing. I don't think you should make smash attacks so easy to counter with movement, with just not walking forward, with shielding, and with spot dodging, and with rolling, and with jumping. Like, that's 6 things that beat Smash. Ground-based smashes for the most part. Coupled on top of that, smashes have more recovery frames on the tail end than they do in like Melee or whatever. So like, why smash in neutral? It's like objectively one of the worst options you can do. And that's why people only do it as a surprise, like, I can't believe you didn't measure. But like, smashes should be safe against shield. You shielded it, congratulations, you didn't get hit by a smash. Now they either get a slight advantage or it's neutral, but not, you get to smash me back just because I tried to use one of my ground moves. Once again, limiting the effectiveness of ground combat in general. I don't want to get shield grab after every tilt. I don't want to have to, and like I said before, walking back is hard, so it's even hard to space a tilt to where you don't get shield grabbed. That's because the shield grabs come out too fast out of the shield. I think we've seen in Smash Ultimate that how quickly you can shield grab after getting hit on your shield is slower, but I don't think the overall shield stun is that much higher than Smash 4. I think he just delayed how quickly you can shield grab and jump up smash out of shield, which is all you freaking needed. You reduce the cooldown on smashes and you make it to where people can't shield grab you that well. Like, shield grabbing still can be good if you close in the distance or they misspace something or whatever. Sure, grab them, give them a toss. But it didn't need to be like almost any attack you do, I can shield grab you out of it and I can run up and shield. Like, that's what annoyed people in Smash 4. It annoys people in general in any Smash. Like, Smash has some of the most effective dodges out of any fighting game ever. You got air, you spot, roll. And like, that's a lot of dodge versatility. You don't need to make it to where the shields also provide you more evasive defensive counter ability. Like, just not necessary. Shields are just like your general, like, hey, I scouted out your move, I'm not dead, you're not in danger. That's how the game should work, and I think that's what Smash Ultimate's doing. It's kind of hard to remember everything off the top of my head. He finally made it to where you select your stage first instead of character first. I've been asking for this in just about every Nintendo game on the face of the planet, including Advance Wars, which is so stupid. They let you pick your CO before what stage you're going to go to. Like, why would I ever pick Drake, who only specializes in naval warfare, if the map that they're going to pick has no C units? It's so stupid. You should pick the level first. What?
That literally happened to me last night.
You pick the level first, so then they can go, oh, okay, air and C units. Now I'll probably maybe play these characters, these COs that are completely underutilized, because now I know what stage we're going to. So definitely picking that in the right order is very important. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised sometimes. Like in Splatoon, you know what stage you're going into, so that's good. Then you pick your kit, and then you just play a bunch of rounds. In hosted battles, you should probably be communicating with your host anyway, so that's fine. But everything else, come on. I want a dedicated grab button in Smash, so we'll not just have it be a macro of shield and A. So let me show you some weird stuff. So because the grab button in Smash Wii U, this is actually shield and A, but happens on the same frame. You can do weird stuff like this, where if you hit down, down, grab. Wait, there. It turns into a smash attack because you overloaded the shield component because you're actually moving your character down. And then when you hit the grab button, it's like, well, there's no shield, but there's A, and since you're hitting down, down and A is a smash attack. So like I can do smash attacks with the grab button, up smash with the grab button, up, up. Oops, it's down, up. There, yeah, down, up is a with grab is in smash attack. I don't want that to happen. If I hit this grab button, I only ever want to grab. That's what I call a dedicated grab button. I want it. Not that big of a deal, but you know, it's happened more times than I'd like to care to know. Where like I want to grab, tilt, no, no. I hit the grab button. Bringing back all the characters. It always seemed like which characters came back was always like a point of trouble and angst for Sakurai, because he knows how much people like the characters, and that's why he didn't want to change them too much, even Ganondorf being somewhat the same as he was when he first came to Melee. So this idea of bringing all the character back, as we learned in the interview with Sakurai, was like the idea he proposed to Nintendo in 2015 before Smash Wii U was even done with all the DLC. And he's like, I want to make it. I guess he submitted the idea himself, so he wanted to make another Smash. That's crazy. I thought he wanted to take a break. You told me you like doing other games. But I think this is his last huzzah. And the reason why this is basically Smash 4.5 is because that's how he's able to add all these characters. Because if you had to redesign all the characters from scratch, it would take way too much time. This game probably needs to come out this year, because the Switch has been out for a year and a half now. So, you know, it's about time for a Smash. Sped up the whole game. Cool. He said he wanted to do that increased knockback thing in Smash 4, but the 3DS couldn't really handle it because of the small screen size, so he took it out. Yeah, so cleaning up the ground game and having that affect everything, slowing down the air dodges, making a lot of inputs easier, keeping the ledge game, bringing back Pokemon Trainer, making Pokemon's transformation a freaking parry, like invincible parry. I was just like, and it needs to be fast. I was like, it totally needs to be that. Taking away the Pokemon Trainer's fatigue, totally called that. After reflecting on Brawl, you know, the other year, I was like, you know what? Those characters were low tier enough that why did they make you switch? Like, it was hard enough. It's hard enough playing one character in Smash. It's definitely hard playing 3 characters in Smash. It's definitely too hard to play 3 low characters in Smash and try to get in work. So why are you making little Squirtle fatigued when I just need Squirtle for this matchup? Now there's no fatigue. Totally called that. Lots of little things about characters, which I guess we'll highlight more when I do more specific character junk. Is that also why Perfect Shield grab leads into jabs instead? Yeah, if you Perfect Shield grab, depending on how you tap your grab button, it could overload the shield part and just leave you with the A part. It's not uncomplicated, so yes. Yeah, so there's a lot of little things with individual characters that I'm like, oh, they should probably fix this. Oh, and it looks like overall in Smash Ultimate they sped up special moves just like they sped up smashes. So let me show you one last thing, because Mario's freaking Fireball is one that I looked at specifically. And I'll go over more of this when I do a Mario specific segment, but Mario's Fireball, I made a video of it on the Design Oriented channel before. It's like super, what I call conservative. It doesn't look amazing. It's not the flashiest move in the game. It's this tiny little... It does 4 damage. It does even less damage at the tail end of it. Oh, still 4. Is it more damage up close? Yeah, 5 up close and 4 everywhere else. Whatever. So I was like, oh, this move is kind of cool because it's one of the few projectiles that actually arc down. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool, like in this game where you could throw 2 out like fairly rapidly and kind of pressure you that way? But nope, Mario's still pretty much the same design he was when he was first conceived for the Smash 64, and that's just kind of how it goes. But with that said, this Fireball has so many interesting uses, and like I found so many ways to use it over the years. Like, you know, if it hits the ground, you can combo into an up air, because you recover from your Fireball just enough time to do stuff like that. Let's see if I can get this. You know, he's too high. But yeah, finding uses for this Fireball is not easy, and considering that it's not like the most amazing move to land in the game, like it doesn't do mega damage or kill, it's kind of like, why would you make it this slow? So now in Smash Ultimate, the Fireball recovers faster, just like so many other moves in the game. So you can just kind of throw it, and it's a nice medium reward, low risk move now, which is what I consider to be pretty good. Donkey Kong, why do you suck? So here's the thing about this Fireball. It also does almost no stun. So if I try to do this Fireball like this and up air him, look, no combo. You have to actually have the Fireball bounce in front of his face to give you just enough time. Oops, too close. B reverse, please. That didn't work. Get back here. So you have to have the Fireball bounce in front of him to true combo, which is like, maybe it shouldn't be this hard to combo into a Fireball that's like this weak little move anyway. Come on, Donkey Kong, you can do it. No! And it also might not combo Donkey Kong because he's a freaking heavyweight. And he may just take a little bit less of what I need him to take. No. Donkey Kong, please. Can't be reverse on this stick. That was a true combo because he tumbled off the ledge. There we go. There we go. Finally got it in the stream. So see how hard that is, right? Like the Fireball is so delicate and so precise that only at certain damage windows, and only when you do this like B-verse technique, and only when you're confident that's going to work, and only if you can perfectly time your up air, can you combo to a Fireball, to an up air, to a forward air. Maybe it shouldn't be that hard. Maybe the Fireball should just be a little easier to use all around and just make me recover faster, especially considering it's not the killiest, flashiest move in the game. But we'll talk a lot more about balance, a lot more about design space in the future. For now, that is all I want to say about some of the new changes made in Smash Ultimate, and how, if you've been a Smash fan over the years and you think like a game designer, you could probably have predicted these same things, especially if you follow Sakurai's work and his design philosophy overall. Until next time, my name is Richard Terrell, Kirby Kid. See ya.